Well, good day, everyone. There's a storm of ruin. Just pulling in from going out and getting everything we're going to need because the hurricane is going to come through central Georgia, and we live in northeast Georgia, and we're probably going to get a good piece of it. So let me pull in here. I got groceries for us, and I got a whole bunch of stuff for the horses. This is going to be a video on storm prep when you own horses. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Look at the sky. It's a-coming. I got all of our stuff unloaded in the house. And now we're going to take a drive to the barn and unload all of the horse feed and all the shavings and the beef pulp and all that sort of thing. Sky's looking a little rough. We're supposed to get hit here in about an hour. Let me pull in a little bit here, and then I will see you shortly. I'll show you what I got, and I'll show you what we do. All right, we're through the gates, pulling up to the barn with all the stuff. Let's see if anybody's in there. There's Jax, eating his hay. And then we got Queenie eating her hay. This is Fleur's window. Hey, pretty Fleur. Let me zoom in. Hey, girl. And then her daddy's stall is right next to hers. You can see his gorgeous hind end. Hi, Boone. Everybody's eating their hay. Tess just fed them. All right, let me pull around the barn, and I'll show you what we got. There's Tess. Got the chain harrow. She's going to drag the pasture. But what we're going to do is we're going to move the horses tonight to a different pasture, and I'll explain that to you momentarily. There's everybody from this view. There's Bossy Nuggets. There's Fleur's head. There's June. Pull around here by the round pen. Come with me, come with me. That's the hay room, and I got hay yesterday. I'll show you that from the inside in just a second. And then this is the feed room, tack room. So I'm pulling up to that so we can unload all the goodies. I'll show you what I got. All right, we got the truck parked. I'll show you what I got here. All right, so what we got some extra, I like the extra fine shavings just in case the horses have to be in the stalls longer than normal. I'm kind of expecting that to happen a couple of times over maybe tonight, probably for a good portion of the day tomorrow when we're getting most of the rain. So I got some more extra shavings, and then we got 3 bags of the Smart Beet Pulp Shreds from Stanley. My favorite brand of Smart Shreds beet pulp. This we soak in hot water, and it fills up and like a sponge. It's full of fiber. It tastes delicious. It makes them feel full. They all love it, and it keeps them hydrated so that the pipes keep working. Omlin 200. I got 3 more bags of that. And let me take you in the barn. Come with me. Show you where everything's going to go. So this is the feed room here. So this extra feed goes in this can, unopened bags, or over here in the hay room. This is the Omlin 200 can. We keep everything covered just in case a horse gets out of their stall or anything, a possum gets in here, or anything they can't get into it. This is the beet pulp can. These are soaked containers of shredded beet pulp for their second supper later on. That's what it looks like when it's soaked. It expands easily twice its size, and all the horses love it. It's so good for them. And this is the senior can. Jack still gets that every single day. And then this is the hay room. So I went and got hay yesterday, and I have 2 kinds of hay in here. I've got this really nice alfalfa hay. Beautiful. It's like 22% protein. The gentleman who grows this hay that I get is a local farmer. He has been doing this for decades, and his alfalfa hay has won the Georgia State contest 2 years in a row. Hopefully he wins again this year. And this is our rye hay for the horses that don't need the extra protein and lower starch. So that is a grass hay that is not as nutritious, but it's still very, very nice hay, and I've got plenty of it in case the horses are in for a while. Because we're in northeast Georgia, we've had a drought here for quite some time, so there's not a lot of grass for them. And then of course they have their supplements. So we'll bring the feed and the beet pulps in here. If you want to go with me, I'll bring you to the tack room. This is This is our tack room. We're walking through. Let me back up. There's Queen right in front of us. This is my little office. Y'all want to see my office? Come right in here. This is climate controlled. Isn't it cute? It's my desk. Got a little fan going on. My husband built this for us. Climate controlled, that's heating and air. So right now it's nice and cool in here. There's some of the trophies that some of us and some of our horses have won. And we will be doing horsemanship lessons either in here later today because we're not going to ride, or we'll do something hands-on. We keep our show equipment in here, and our Tessa's training equipment is in here. So a couple of our show saddles. It's just our personal tack. And then this is the tack room for all of the lesson tack. There's some of the ribbons. I know I've gotten off track for storm prep, but I have you guys ask me all the time about the barn. So while we're at it, this is a quick span, and because all the horses are cross-trained for both disciplines, they all have their own bridle racks. There's Jax's Western bridle, Western show halter, and English bridle. And then we'll come here, mud sink refrigerator, and here we are in the barn. So I'll show you where the extra shavings are going to go in the wash rack here. They're going to go right there in that corner. And we will be filling up later on tonight at the end of the night. Here's Moss, this trough, just in case our power goes out. We do have the electric waters and they'll work for a while, but we're going to fill that bad boy up. It's bigger than it looks from here. I'll show you. And I also have 2 other big containers that we will fill up with extra water, and we'll leave those in the wash rack just in case, so we can just scoop water out and just bring it from stall to stall. All the horses have a bucket that hangs. I could go and boom stall and show you. We don't have the lights on yet because it's not time for lessons. Hi, my handsome! So they all have a hanging bucket. There are 5-gallon buckets. Queen's is a little bit bigger. Do you need a boop? Boop. He's eating his hay and he already ate his food. Gone. They all have plenty of fans in their stalls. Big fan, powerful fan. And the stall fronts have box fans. And that's it for now. I'll cruise around and show you the horses. Oh wait, I did want to show you one more thing for now. The pasture that we're going to move them to. First, trying to take them out. We're going to move them to the front up here. And I'm going to explain why. So this pasture is very, very open. It's the pasture where the arena is. They have a lot of room to run, and there are no trees along this fence line that pose a threat with the high winds and heavy rain that we're going to get. That we're not chancing any trees coming down this pasture if we put them up here. Those are really nice strong cypress trees, and that's a pecan tree. And this is a huge oak in our backyard, but there are no pine trees or anything that can fall on this fence line over here. My neighbor over here has tons of pine trees in this pasture here, or excuse me, in his lot across our pasture over there. That's not mine, that's his. And they're really tall, and we did have one fall on our fence line last year and had to rebuild the hot wire, some fence posts, and some fence panels. As you can see, the sky is starting to look really rough. I'm going to show you the pasture that they're actually in this week that we're going to move them from. I'm going to explain why. We'll cut through the barn. Come with me. Let's see who's in here. Everybody's eating their hay right now. There's little Jax. Are you eating your hay? Hi, my sweet boy. Queenie's drinking. Hi, princess. But they're in this pasture technically this week, but we're going to pull them out early. So tonight when we turn them out after lessons, we're not going to put them back in here. Now, when we moved here, this pasture was not a pasture. It was pretty much a dumping ground from the past. We found all kinds of garbage in here, stop signs, all kinds of stuff. It took us 2 years of living here for us to establish half of this with grass, so that we can use it as a pasture. And Scott has gone through, my husband has gone through and cut down every single pine tree or any tree in here that posed a threat. Way in the back there was a massive pine tree And we just had that cut down a couple of years ago, but this is a pecan tree, and then we have a couple of oaks in here. Now this is set down lower, so as far as wind goes, this might be better. But on my other side, where my other neighbor is, there are pine trees in there. There's a lot of oaks, there's some maples, and I keep mentioning pine trees, and I apologize. Pine trees are super weak. And with the ground being as dry as it is, I feel like when it starts raining, I don't know, I think we're gonna get a lot of runoff. I don't think the ground's gonna be able to, because it's so hard from being dry from the drought, I think it's gonna have a tough time absorbing the water at first. Maybe by tomorrow's rain, it'll start absorbing it better, but so we're taking them out of this pasture because of the threat of the trees on that tree line there, and then behind us, our pasture kind of goes, and that's the corner right there, and then that's the other people's. But I feel like it's safer for them way in the front where the big pasture is, where there's no trees that pose a threat at all. And that pasture, as you saw, does have a low spot to it, so they can go down there, and they normally do go down in the corner there. So that's a little bit safer. So I'll get back with you a little bit later after lessons and show you the extra measures of the extra water. I'm probably going to leave this outside the barn, but I will put the other big buckets that I'm also going to fill up with water in the wash rack here. So this is just where the horses get their baths. So it's a big, huge wash rack. So I'll probably put the extra buckets there, and just that way we have extra water if we need it. Something else we have to plan for is to make sure they all have enough medicine, their medication that they're on. This is the Zyrtec that Queen and Jax are on. And I got 2 more boxes of oatmeal pies, because if you've seen me do that in the past, you know that we put the oatmeal pie, we put the pills inside the oatmeal pies, and the horses just gobble them right up. And then I've got a couple of horses on Previcox, so I have plenty of that. Plenty of stuff for us if we need it too, if we get a headache. So that's good to go. Okay, we got all the shavings unloaded. They're all in the wash rack. We've got all the extra feed. This is extra beet pulp and extra feed, but I've got 2 extra cans, or 2 extra bags of feed in this can right here. That's more than enough. Shut the truck up. I'm gonna go put the truck back so I don't have to do it in the rain. And then at the end of the night, I'll show you guys all the extra things that we do. Sorry if I'm winded. I was hoofing it. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so we are back. We are doing our horsemanship lessons. This is our second one of the day. That's Josie and June. Hey, June. And we're pretty busy right now. We have moved some of our Thursday students into Wednesday because we're not going to do lessons tomorrow. But we're pretty busy right now. They're going to groom the horses first, and then we'll do a horsemanship lesson. And guess what the topic is? The topic is storm prep when you're a horse owner. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll show you what we've done since I talked to you last. We have filled up the trough in the back here. Hello. So that's ready to go. And then also, there's Oz. We've got the two large buckets in the wash rack that I mentioned earlier. We're filling those in with water also. So that's just going to be extra water. And like I said earlier, my biggest fear is always power going out, and our electric waters don't function without power, so I want to make sure that we have plenty of extra water on hand if the power goes out. Even Mr. Bingley needed to know where the backup water was through all this storm. Barn cats, and by the way, the barn cats are fine. The barn cats actually climb through the stall windows, and they can fit underneath the front sliding door. So they have a whole bunch of cat beds in the hay room, so they can just chill out. That's it. That's about everything that we do to get ready for a storm like this. The plan as of right now is to turn the horses out after this lesson. If it's just doing what it's doing now, which it's not even quite heavy rain yet, I'll show you what we got going on. This is what we have. It's just, as my husband would call it, good grass, water, and rain. So nothing over the top yet, but we're expecting a lot worse Friday, especially in the wee hours of the morning on Friday. I'll show you the back where the sun sets. So the plan right now, we'll check radar before we do it, but the plan is to turn them out tonight. And if we don't see a lot of electricity in the sky, and there's not going to be much overnight, we're going to turn them out. But remember what we said earlier, they're going in the front. They're going up here where there's only pecan tree and an oak tree, and nothing can reach them on either side of the fence. This is a much safer pasture for them. So that's it. If you guys have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Please put them in the comment section. I'm always happy to hear from you. I'll answer any question about horses, even if it's gross. And I want you all to stay safe throughout the storms. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.